Welcome to Sisterpreneurs Talk, a podcast where real entrepreneurs share their raw, unfiltered journeys exactly as they are. My name is Jennifer.
And my name is Bianca.
And today we'll be talking to Ellen, the founder of NonStop Gym, one of the biggest fitness chains in Switzerland, with more than 45 clubs across the country, employing more than 200 employees. Ellen, welcome. We are absolutely thrilled and honored to have you here with us today.
Thank you. Very happy to be here.
So let's start at the very beginning, before NonStop Gym existed, before the clubs, the members, the brand. How did this idea come to your mind? And what was the moment when you said, okay, let's build this?
So I think as very common in the startup world, it started with a problem. And the problem being me working long hours in a big American company, didn't manage to get to the gym within their opening hours. And when I did manage to get to the gym, I wasn't very impressed with what I got. So I found it was quite dirty, out of order signs on the machines, outdated equipment. And I did feel like a foreigner coming to Switzerland. I paid a fortune for this. So I complained a bit. I asked around if this was only my problem. And I got the sense that it wasn't. And I started to dig in a bit more. I started to check a bit, learn a bit about the Swiss market, about, a very healthy, flourishing luxury segment, a very big but maybe a bit uninspirational mid-market segment, and not a single kind of low-cost or valuable value concept existing at the time. And I also, in parallel, this was a time where, of course, interest in health and well-being was growing strongly. Also low-cost concepts across industries were taking ground. And so also in Switzerland with EasyJet, with IKEA, with Lidl, etc., also being accepted by the very quality-focused Swiss consumer. So putting things together, this convinced me that this must work also in Switzerland. And it gave me the courage to start looking into it seriously.
Was there a moment where you were like, okay, now we're doing this, we're starting, and this is my next business journey, that's it?
Well, there was a moment in the company where I worked, they had a reorganization program. They said, whoever could consider leaving, raise your hand. And that's when I thought, this is the sign that I needed to get this done.
I love hearing this because this is second entrepreneur in a row who had exactly very similar situation, not happy in the corporate world, and was like, I'm okay to go. So interesting connecting point. When you decided this project is a go, you're doing it, what were your feelings? Were you excited? Were you also scared that this could not work? And I'm also interested to know, what were people around you saying? Were there in general very supportive, or were there also those who were like, you want to open up a fitness chain, you think your will work when there is so many out there already? How was this world kind of around you?
Yes, so of course, very mixed reactions. I think most importantly for me was that my core around me were very supportive. I had and have a partner who was very supportive, my family very supportive. Also in this preparation of the business model, etc., I met my co-founder, Petra, so we did the whole journey together, and that's of course a huge motivation and support. And then there was mixed messages, and I think in that period when you're very vulnerable, you often get the advice to run your project and your business idea with as many as possible and get all the feedback you can. I'm not sure that I agree fully with that, because you're so vulnerable in this phase, and of course you need to stress test your model, but you also need to a bit surround yourself with people that gives you give you the right energy.
Were you scared it's not going to work out?
I think it's a lot linked to timing. I was at a period of my life where I had done so many good and ambitious things through my school, my studies, my first job. I had really worked on the very ambitious, perfect CV, and I think it was time for me to do something that was a bit out of that direction. So I thought if I fail, it's not the end of the world. It's now. I had no mortgage, no kids, no simple life. Yeah.
Nothing to risk.
Exactly.
Ish. So let's say you were there, you had the idea, and then you're like, I need the money. You needed the capital, right? And it was a time that the Swiss banks didn't lend a lot of money to new founders, new entrepreneurs. So what did you do?
Yeah, I think it's now looking back, I think it was a positive thing for us, for me and Petra, that there was no chance that we could finance this ourselves. So it wasn't about squeezing a bit or getting a bit, lending a bit. No chance that we could finance our first gym ourselves. So it was clear that we had to raise money. And I also love the naive approach that we had to it, where we started to schedule, bank appointments. We looked up all these startup funding organizations, and we were quite confident that, that would get us started. But of course, only closed doors. And we quickly found out that, of course, you can lend money from the banks, but you need to have the same amount in a blocked account in that bank. Exactly. We tried to say if we had the money, we wouldn't be here. So we learned quite quickly that this money needs to come from investors, and that was also a world that we didn't know. So we started Googling Business Angel Geneva, investors.
Did you find anything interesting?
That's where we started, and we cold called, and we sent emails, and we filled in our Excel sheets with all the no's and some few of the yeses, and we invited ourselves to these rooms and pitched for a seed investment.
So you were able to find the first round of investments.
Yes, but it wasn't among Swiss investors. The Swiss investors that we pitched for did not believe in our idea. So in the end, it was a mix of international rich individuals or business angels that funded our company.
And legally, was it easy to arrange because they were foreigners and you were based here? How was your legal status at the time?
Yeah, so we then realized that we need to create shares. So we're an SA, and then we sought legal help to get the right contract and shareholders agreement in place. One of our main investors were quite close to their own entrepreneurial journey, which I think was very helpful, because they also had they know the motivation of an entrepreneur, and making sure that the entrepreneur feels in control and feels in majority and can take the important decisions to also feel responsible for the outcome of the journey. So I think overall the discussions regarding shareholders agreements and conditions were healthy.
That's interesting. And how did you manage this pressure of, let's say, being responsible of other people's money? Because at one point, I guess you received the money, you and your co-founder, you're like, okay, now we're going to spend it, basically. So is this big pressure on you?
Absolutely. But I think it was not as much the money as the kind of human aspect of wanting your idea to succeed. The money that funded the startup, we knew it was not someone's last savings, and I'm very grateful for that, because that would have led to another pressure. and listening to the other stories and the stories of Barbara, I think it's not healthy to have too much financial pressure, because there's so much pressure anyway from right, left, and center. And that was also an agreement that me and Petra had when we started to fund the company, that we cannot agree to sign personal liability.
Okay.
And we cannot, I didn't own anything, but Petra had a house, and we said we cannot, we're not going that far. It's not worth it.
Okay.
So let's fast forward a couple of years when your idea turned into the reality. So you had clubs running across Switzerland, you had people working for you, it all happened, you fundraised, and then COVID hit. And basically revenue went 0 to 0 overnight, clubs got closed, people stopped coming, and you still had costs to pay for the rental of utilities, I don't know what. What happened in your world?
Yeah, I think we all have these moments linked to COVID, right? When we just stopped and we asked ourselves, is this happening? Or,
you look like you have a smile on your face. I cannot believe this. I'm like, when I say this, I am shaking, because I'm like, I don't understand how these ladies could go through it. And anyway, love your spirit.
No, it's because we got through it. But no, it was incredibly tough, and I so remember the day when we all got the instructions that everything needs to close, right? And at the time we had almost 20 clubs. Our concept is 24/7. We had taken a big pride in never closing a club. Whatever happened, we made sure that our clubs were open 24/7. So we had to, of course, get anyone on a Teams call, and we had to go through the instructions on how to close a club. Where are the keys? Where's the bottom to turn off the lights? We had never closed a club. So it was very dramatic, and it was very, very tangible. And we also had discussions, me and Petra, on how do we react, and how do we treat our members, how do we treat our employees, and for us we always had the mindset that this is a marathon, this is not a sprint, and we know that we're in a relationship with our members long term. If they don't have a gym to go to, they should not pay a penny for that period. So we quickly decided that we're doing right by our members, and if we close, then all the revenue should close as well. This creates other problems, right? With no money in and a lot of money going out. This was also, I remember the same day we had a board meeting scheduled, and it was a board meeting. I never been so unmotivated for a board meeting as this. We only wanted to focus on operations, getting the posters up, the Instagram instructions up, etc. But we had this board meeting, and it was probably the most useful one we ever had, with people around us with a bit more perspective, a bit more experience, bringing up the view a little bit from the daily operations and the dramatic closing, and getting us to realize if this is a big thing, this is not going to be over in a week, not even 2. So we need to really decide together as a company and as a team what to do and how to treat this. And also getting us to realize the magnitude of things. This is not only our problem. This is massive. This is shaking everything. If you don't have the revenue, you can't be the correct, you can't do correctly and pay all the bills that are coming in. So we adapted the philosophy: no money in, no money out, except for salaries. And then we also have, yes.
So I guess this created some legal problems with the
Absolutely.
tenants. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So we have still have a fantastic financial manager who helped us hugely in this situation, screening through all the different support that was there to find. And I must say that we very quickly got support in terms of paying salaries at HT. We used that full on, so we could ensure that our employees were paid throughout the whole period. And then for our other contract, and especially our landlords, there was a long list of juridical discussions to have and communication. Yeah.
Ellen, I cannot even imagine how difficult this must have been emotionally and mentally for you and Petra in this time. I think all the entrepreneurs we talk to, they have a very different moments where they feel kind of like this is a bad dream and I just kind of want to wake up and run away. Maybe this was your phase. I don't know. Maybe you can tell us a bit more. But what I want to know is when entrepreneurs get to these extremely hard situations, when they feel like I want to die, as Barbara said at our first podcast. Do you have any recommendation on how to power through it? And in that time for you, how did you keep going? How did you power through this difficult situation?
Yes, I think a big factor is that we were two. We throughout our journey in good and bad moments, we've been two, and that's of course a huge help and support. Also, we have a fantastic team that are not only, going to work, but really, I would say, loving the concept and loving the place to work. So this also gave an enormous amount of energy through this time. It was just so obvious that this is a flinch and then we'll come back. I think the first closing was definitely the toughest, with the most insecurity. After we could reopen, even though it was with mask, it was with security concept and distance and scotch. We had scotch all over our gyms, showing where to go and not to go. But our members came back, and as of the first reopening, we were reassured that we're gonna get through this, and we're gonna come out stronger on the other side.
Because you built something that was much more powerful than a gym. It was like people coming back, a community, something incredible.
Yes, and something that people, they were just urging to come back to training and to social life and to feeling healthy and also we were still with our values, affordable, accessible, 24/7, low cost. We felt that we're going to come out of this stronger as long as we sort out this mess.
So this was your mission since the beginning: affordable, open all the time. So when you scaled it across Switzerland, because if I'm not mistaken, it's French, Italian, and German part of Switzerland, your gyms.
Yes, so making top quality training affordable and accessible for everyone. That's was our mission when we launched, and that's still our mission. So making sure that we quality where it matters. We always let ourselves be guided by. We put our money where it really matters for the training quality, and then we make other choices where we don't spend money, and that's the way that we make it affordable. And then open 24/7 is important for us because we don't want to decide when our members should work out. It should be completely up to each and everyone when they want to go to the gym.
Amazing. Is there anyone that goes during the night, like deep night?
Yes.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yes.
Awesome.
It's not where it's crowded in the gym, but we do have people.
Fantastic. Now, I have a question regarding the scalability of the project. So now you have scaled across all Switzerland. What did you underestimate in this process? For example, which challenges did you have to face when you were actually scaling? And then my second question is, do you have any international expansion in mind? Are you willing to go to other countries in Europe or outside of Europe?
So the main challenges that we found throughout the scaling is really the finding the right facilities, and I guess here we're more in the retail kind of space than fitness almost, because finding the right location is for us the bottleneck in our expansion. The location quality and the surface quality is really at the heart of the training quality that we want to provide. So we're very picky. That also means that it takes time to find the right locations. And then we started out in Suisse romande, and then we expanded on to German-speaking Switzerland. And I think as all brands, doing the trip crossing the Röstegraben is I wouldn't say tough, but it's challenging, and it makes you reassess your concept, your communication, and the assumptions that you had as a base. We had, when we started in Zurich, when we launched in Zurich, we had a campaign which says 100% training, 0% sauna. Which we love and we still love, but it almost felt like the Swiss was almost offended really? That we were attacking their, a bit of their culture, which was not at all our intention, but rather to show our focus on training. And then we've also expanded to the Italian part, and I think that has actually helped the integration even more, that we're now pan-Swiss, and with the French, German and Italian combination, it even works better than only the French and German.
Do the Italian ones like sauna?
I would say a bit like the French. They're happy with only training. Yeah.
Okay, you mentioned that one of the reasons why you survived the difficult times was because you were two. So I want to talk about the world of co-founders. We had before at our podcast a solo founder, Barbara Lax. We had Alice, who's a female founder with 3 other male founders, and you are one of the 2 female co-founders. And I would be really interested to know, what's your relationship like with Petra, and how do your personalities complement each other?
Exactly. We knew each other from before, so we worked in the same company. We didn't work together, but we had skied together. We've been out running together, so we know each other a little bit. When I had this idea, she was on maternity leave. And I heard from other friends that she was not so keen to go back to the big corporates potentially. So I contacted her, and we talked a bit about the idea. I know how she works. She's a proper Excel freak, so I sent her all my Excel files, and I said, "Look at them and talk. Let's talk if you're convinced." And that's how it started.
With an Excel file.
With the Excel, that's how you convince Petra.
This is the perfect co-founder, the one who wants to do the Excel. This is good.
And I think we were not close enough to feel that we could jeopardize something, So we more had an opportunity to build something new. And very early on, we had discussions on who's passionate about what, and our strengths and our weaknesses, but we also had the proper kind of divorce discussion. What happens if? And I think going through those tough questions from the start, you get to know each other very well. And we also did, a type of contract between the 2 of us, capturing some of these points. What happens if? And we never had to look at that paper because we never had to face those. So of course we don't agree on everything, but I think none of us have a big enough ego to we always find solutions, and we all usually know who's more passionate, and the ones who's most passionate gets to decide if we don't agree.
I have to ask a question because Bianca and I are co-founders, and I think we're very complementary. We love each other, and we are very close friends, but we fight sometimes. And it can get spicy. And I think it's important to mention this for all the other co-founders out there, that this is absolutely normal part of the reality. And it's not about getting upset and being in the upset moment. It's about how you find solution. So my question to you is, do you fight? Does it get spicy? And how do you find solution? I know you guys are Swedish. I'm here co-founded with Italian, so maybe it's more calm. But still, I would like to hear how two Swedish ladies maybe fight sometimes, and how do they come out from this?
So we're Swedish. We don't get too emotional. We stay very polite. I wouldn't say that we fight. We disagree and we discuss a lot. But in the end, none of us are stubborn enough to let it go too high, and we always find a good solution on the way.
That's absolutely extremely important, that you put the emotions aside and you focus on solution. One last question about the co-founders topic. For those who are maybe looking for a co-founder or are in the moment of choosing the right co-founder, what would you recommend?
Yes, I would recommend to really bring up the uncomfortable questions early in the process, because it's such a good way of getting to know each other and also work on the project together.
Okay. Should you have an initial fight before you...
Absolutely.
Okay. You guys know what to do now. I want to also touch base about community. Because, as you know, we at Sisterpreneurs are very passionate about community. We really believe in the importance of community. We believe that this is something what helps you in different moments of your professional and personal life. And NonStop Gym is obviously not anymore just a fitness chain. This is truly a community of people with same mindset and values. As you said, after the COVID, they were all coming back. What do you think about the importance of community? Do you feel there is a strong community in NonStop Gym? And was there perhaps a time where you felt like your community really made you keep going and lifted you up?
So I think the community building is absolutely necessary to scale. Me and Petra, we opened one club. We were everything in this company. We were finance, we were cleaning, we were IT support, customer support. We were absolutely every single role except for coach, because that wouldn't have been incredible. But when we were there with every member, but trying to scale a concept, you get to a point where you can no longer represent the brand yourself. You need to frame it clear enough for someone else to kind of fall in love with it and represent it in their way. And I think that has really been our success. That we've created a concept that is for us and for our employees is so powerful that they are proud to represent this brand in front of our members, and that's how we grow stronger. And I think we've also shifted a bit from having the very strong focus on our members to realize that we and the community we're building with members to also realize that we're having a fantastic group of employees that is a community in itself. So it's a very fortunate and powerful situations to have those people representing us and spreading the good vibes and the values that we're standing for.
Absolutely, and it's like a circle of communities and enablers, and people love to be part of it. And then the storytelling changes. It's a journey also for the community. And now talking about the journey. So if I zoom out, basically you had the idea, then Petra joined, then you got the first investment, you opened the clubs. and then you decided to scale it, and then COVID hit, and after a couple of years after COVID, you decided to involve a fund, or what happened exactly? Did you decide to
Yeah, so when we launched in 2013, we managed to get this seed investment, right? And as they say, it was a mix of family, friends, and fools, with mainly,
mainly
mainly fools. Exactly. And we also learned when we did our pitch for the investment, someone told them, you need to present an exit opportunity. So we put a slide, with the exit opportunity, so many X times your investment in so many years, right? That's a bit the sell. But we got to a point where these investors had been with us for 10 years, and it was a time where they wanted out, or would benefit a bit of the success and the growth. And it was also a time where we thought that we could also benefit from an investor with a bit more experience with our size of company. So that's why we changed.
So you approached different funds, or how was the process?
Yes, so we contacted their M&A broker, and they helped us find the right replacement of the existing investors.
Amazing. And now with this, let's say with this backed, are you willing to, what's your vision? What's your strategy for the next 5 to 10 years? If you can share it.
Yeah, so the beauty is that this new investor and co-partner totally, of course, bought into our vision for the brand and for the company. So I would say not much has changed. Me and Petra are still on board. We still have our vision to be the number one brand in Switzerland, and that's what we continue working against. I mean, our goal is, in our mission, is for everyone, and we're not for everyone until we're close to where you work and where you live and where you go. When you go to Chino for holiday, you should also be able to pop into your NonStop Gym.
Well, it's very important to find an investor that is actually aligned with your vision and strategy, because otherwise it could end in a different way. So congratulations and well done that you found this. So you mentioned that you can pop to the other gym, means that your membership allows to go to any gym.
Yes, yes, exactly. So that was also one of our early decisions. We want that the membership gives you access to all the NonStop gyms.
So soon everybody's going to be seeing NonStop Gym on every single corner. I actually think it's happening already. I don't know, it's because I knew that, I heard about you. I see NonStop Gym everywhere. I always say to my husband, look, there too. So I think it's actually happening. So if you guys have even more, wow, that will be amazing.
In Geneva, we're strong. We're not this strong everywhere. So we still have a lot of work to do.
Humble too. I love it. Ellen, let's close with some reflection and advice for entrepreneurs who are here today and heard your story. If you would put your mind back to the very beginning, where there was Ellen with, I guess, some PowerPoint or just a pitch and a lot of uncertainty, what would you tell her?
So two things. First, I would encourage myself to enjoy every phase. So I did it at the time, and I think it was very helpful to see every step of the way as a useful challenge. Not to always see the end point or the big challenge, but to cut it into steps. I had never done a business plan. Great, that's fun. That's something that I can learn from. So we did the business plan, and then the next step was to pitch for investment. I had never been into these rooms of investors. That's quite interesting experience on its own. So do that, and then no matter if it goes good or bad, you've done it. And then so I think it gets so, the mountain gets too high if we only aim for the top. But to see all the small wins and the little wins on the way, I think it's very helpful.
So enjoy the journey, not just the destination.
Exactly. And the other thing would be, you know, enjoy the ride, because it's an amazing journey and an amazing adventure, and it's so easy to be stuck in the everyday challenges, because a success is very rapidly replaced with a challenge, or so enjoying every little win or every new experience, I think, would be the advice.
Okay, and reward yourself. So
Yes.
as Barbara said to us, tell yourself, congratulations, you're doing a good job, right?
Absolutely. And there's not that many moments that me and Petra have been sitting down and to cheer in Aperol or Prosecco, where we never go for champagne because it's too expensive. But you know, we should do that more often, for sure, because there's many moments to celebrate, because there's also many challenges to handle after.
And what would your message be to people who are just starting their entrepreneurial journey and feel, or are in it already, and feel that all the rules, the systems, the risks, the regulations, the investors, the banks are going against them, and they feel like, oh my God, like, I don't know if I can do this. What would your message be to those?
I think many messages, but first of all, which sounds a bit harsh, but I would also say, you know, it's not for everyone. It's really hard, and it's really uncertain. And I think for me, it was very much a time in life where I could handle that uncertainty. But there could be different periods in life where it's not. So I think a big question is, you know, is this what you want to do? But if it is, then you know, there's only solutions. You know, all in. There's step by step, and never. I think it's a real power to be fresh on things, or to even be a bit naive, and to just attack. You know, the topics one by one, and you learn, and not be afraid of not knowing, but having the approach of learning and finding the answers.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you very much. I think you sharing your story really shows us that entrepreneurship is not overnight success. It's a long journey with a lot of structure which needs to be put in place. It's about a mindset of never giving up, keep going, and about a lot of resilience. Did I capture it-ish right? Anything to add?
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Ironman, perhaps. A couple of them. This is Barbara, yes.
Exactly.
So thank you very much for sharing it exactly as it is with us. This is very important for us here, that we say things exactly as they are, and you did this with us today, so thank you. Maybe for the end, where can people learn a bit more about NonStop Gym, and even about you and Petra?
Exactly. Come and visit our clubs, or follow us on social media, or Instagram, or our website.
Maybe train?
Come and train.
I'll come.
Perfect.
Thank you very much, Ellen, and thanks to all of our listeners today. And we'll share more stories very soon, so stay tuned.
Perfect. Thank you.